So I'm sure there are a lot of people who wonder what a stay-at-home mom does all day. And I'm sure there's like a million different answers because every mom is different. I'm just going to give you an idea of what I'm doing now. I mean, it was different when I only had one kid, and now I have two kids. Oh, and it was different when I was working on my master's degree, and now I'm done with my master's degree. But, like there's going to be a lot of different stories for a lot of different people. This is just my story, little capsule of what I do in a day now. So I have two kids. One of them's 4.5, and she's currently enrolled in an elementary school program. And I have a baby. He's, my baby. He's still like very much a baby in a lot of regards. He just turned 2. And yeah, so it's a little bit of a handful between the two of them. It's a little bit easier when you just have one of them and they're brand new and they sleep all the time, and then like you level up and they're taking like 3 naps a day, and then you get to the next level and they're taking 2 naps a day, then you get to the next level and then they're taking 1 nap a day, and then you lose nap time. So then you're on a whole different plane, and then if you have a second kid and add that to the mix, then it's a whole another variable. But yeah, in order to understand what I do in a day, you have to go back to the previous day. And what time did the kid go to sleep? Maybe my kids went to bed at 7 o'clock like they usually do, or maybe they refused to go to bed and they stayed till 8. That happened like one time, and then that impacted the next day. Or sometimes they go to bed super early. They're just tired because we did a whole bunch that day, and they'll go to bed at like 6:30 in the evening, and then they get up super early. Or if they go to bed at 6:30 in the evening, maybe they get up multiple times a night. Because if you check out the stats on this, like Emily Oster has a whole like graph on this, how often kids wake up throughout the night at different ages. And at 2, it's still normal to wake up 2 to 3 times a night. And it can be more than that. And sometimes, like a 2-year-old will wake up at like 4 in the morning and decide they're not going to go back to bed. If they went to bed at 6:30, you could wake up several times throughout the night and then get up at 4 in the morning and not go back to bed. So, I mean, every day is going to be different based on that. But let's say they go to bed at 7 o'clock. We have a normal night. I wake up 2 to 3 times. They sleep until 5 or 6 in the morning, which is a normal day for us. So then I usually get up about 5:55. My kids might start stirring before that and like telling me they want me to go turn on the TV and put on a YouTube video for them, but I usually don't get out of bed until 5:55. My husband gets up most days at 5 a.m. He puts on Peppa Pig, and so the kids can go out there and watch Peppa Pig, and I can stay in bed until 5:55, and then I get up every morning and I make a smoothie. And the smoothie has coconut water, fruit, and some protein powder. I'm using a hemp protein powder right now. I really like it. It's like one ingredient, so I know what it is. I don't have to worry about researching it. Not having to research things when you have kids is a lot easier, because like if you're having to research every little ingredient and you're trying to read things, it's really hard when you have a kid because you might not even get nap time. But on a normal day, I have the smoothie in the morning, and the kids will drink some of their smoothie. Sometimes Gibson drinks all of his. Daphne, I have to like beg to drink her smoothie. Then I start making breakfast. Breakfast is usually for the kids because I don't eat breakfast at that time in the morning. That's too early for me. I'll have the smoothie. And then I make them some muffins, usually from scratch, using like almond butter instead of flour, or I can make oat flour out of oatmeal. I did that this morning. I pulsed the oatmeal into an oat flour, and I'll make some muffins from scratch, or I'll make what I call banana cakes, where I just blend one banana with 2 eggs, and then I make these little silver dollar sized pancakes and I fry them in butter. But I try to make my kids a wholesome breakfast most mornings from scratch with like low sugar, low glycemic index. I'm trying to make sure they're getting some good nutrition along with that healthy smoothie every morning. Then after that, it's usually time for me to make myself some coffee. And then I'm getting ready myself for the day. I brush my teeth and my hair, and I shower and I get dressed, and then I get my kids' teeth and I brush them, and I get them dressed and get them ready to get out the door. That is horrendous, getting two little people out the door. Like, I'm saying it in just a number of words, but you don't know how much time and energy goes into like lassoing them, wrangling them, convincing them to stop doing whatever play they're doing and get them to go brush their teeth. And then sometimes Gibson just lets me brush his teeth, but that's not all the time. A lot of the time I'm like holding him and brushing his teeth and like getting it done, but it's a struggle. And then the getting the kids dressed, like, like my daughter, she's 4.5 now. I've worked really hard to get to this point where she can like basically do a lot of the stuff herself. But when she was 2, like we had to work really hard, like explaining the steps of, okay, put your fingers or your thumb down in the sock, open the sock really, really wide open. Okay, cool. Now you've got it really, really wide open. Now put all of your toes inside there and put them down at the bottom of the sock. Like it was like you have to break everything down into minute steps. And I'm not really doing that with Gibson yet, even though I should be working on it with him. I'm just like trying to get out the door most days because we have to get to elementary school on time every day. It's just insane. So yeah, then we get the kids dressed. Daphne does a lot of the stuff herself, but I help her pick out an outfit. She has some say in it, but she usually wants my input. And I also look at the weather and what it's going to be like in the morning and in the afternoon. Do we need to wear layers? Like, how are we going to make this like work all day long for her from 8:15 until 2:30 when I pick her up? So then about 8 o'clock, I am getting everybody out the door. I've packed Daphne a lunch some days. Some days she does hot lunch at school, but if it's something she doesn't like for hot lunch, then I've packed her a lunch. I found the water bottle, made sure she has water in a water bottle fresh and ready to go, made sure that if there's any papers in her folder in her backpack that I've taken those out, read them. If there's anything I needed to know about, made sure I've made a mental note of it. This week it was Spirit Week at school. Like it's not hard enough to get the kids out the door every day. This week I had to remember Monday was hat day. We had to make sure we had a hat. Tuesday was crazy sock day. I had to find the crazy socks, which I thought would be with all the socks, but they weren't. They were in the laundry room because I don't know why I thought it'd be a great idea to pair them together and put them on top of the dryer, but that's where they were. So then I found the crazy socks on Tuesday. Wednesday was wacky clothes day, so I had to make sure my daughter was dressed all wacky. Wednesday, yesterday, was walk and roll. So we had to walk to school because like that's what they're encouraging everybody to do during the monthly walk and roll. So then we had to get out the door 15 minutes early to walk to school. And then after I dropped off my daughter, I had to walk up this very steep hill that I live at the top of. Like you can't imagine how steep this hill is. I live at a very, very lovely place in Olympia at the top of a very lovely hill with a lovely view called Fairview Street. Oh my God, but walking up that hill was horrendous yesterday. So every day is different. But yeah, this week has been an extra fun week because of Spirit Week. Today was wear a shirt with a message day. And it was the day she's taking her class photo. So not only do I have to make sure she's wearing a shirt with a message, it said be unique and had a really cute rainbow alpaca with a unicorn horn for her message. But then I also had to make sure she looked extra cute, put her hair in pigtails. So I had to find the pigtail holders, which weren't where I left them because everybody's constantly moving things in this house. I have two kids and then my husband who helps clean. And I move things too because I'm just crazy, I guess, and I'm just trying to drive myself insane. And I'm also very tired from not sleeping at night. So I move things and forget where I put them. So I had to find the pigtail holders to put her hair in cute little pigtails for her class photo. So then we went and dropped her off at school. I get the kids in the car. I put on the music I want to listen to. And then they're like yelling at me that they want to listen to Hall of the Mountain King. But I'm like, not listening to that right now. I'm listening to Polly and Andy, Tiny Dino, and a little bit of you. And a couple other Polly and Andy songs have just been like my jam right now. So I put on the music I needed to listen to calm myself while we're driving to school because it's a lot of work and you get kind of like stressed out trying to make sure you get everybody out the door on time. So I put on my jams, drive the kids to school, and then I can't drop my daughter off in the drop off line like a normal parent because she's TK. She's only 4 years old. So I can't just get in the drop off line and drop off my kid from the car. I actually have to physically walk her to the TK, the transitional kindergarten classroom. And so I have to get her out of the car, get her backpack on her. Then I have to get Gibson out of the car. He's 2 and he thinks it's really funny to run away from me or to like just run in general or to like, he's just very squirrely. Both of my kids were runners at this age. It's just what it is. My kids are just crazy. So I have to get both of them from the parking lot to this gate to go into this little area for the TK class to the classroom door to say goodbye to Daphne and hand her off to the teachers. And then I have to get Gibson back in the car. And that is exhausting in itself because he does not want to go back to the car. He wants to run around in circles and drive me crazy. Sometimes he wants to pull up the little crocuses. Sometimes he wants to play in the sandbox that's over here. Sometimes he just wants to run around and act all crazy and yell, run away from mom, ah, ha 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 ha, mom, ha ha. So I have to chase down a 2-year-old. And I often have to scoop him up. He's very big for his age. He's beyond the 99th percentile for height. I have this like 2-year-old child that's like the size of a 4-year-old that I have to scoop up and carry to my car a lot of the time, which is absolutely exhausting. Then I have to strap him into a car seat. If you haven't strapped anybody into a car seat, that in itself can be exhausting. And sometimes if you're tired, it can just feel like an absolute rigmarole to try to get through get the straps on, get this clip here, get this strap, clip, 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 like, and you're bending over and you're woozy because you're tired and you've been chasing a toddler for like the last 4.5 years. And then you get them into the car seat, and I'm finally back listening to Tiny Dino, and I'm in the car, and I'm driving home. I live very close to the school. I could walk, but oh my God, the hill, first off. And second off, I'm just a very exhausted person. Going up and down that hill every day would be a little bit much for me. But I do it for the walk and roll. Most of the TK moms do not do the walk and roll. They just still drop their kids off by car, and no judgment. I don't blame them for that. The walk and roll element with a 4-year-old is insane. And then if I add a 2-year-old to that, and some of these kids have like younger siblings younger than Gibson, that would just be too much for me. I'm in a place where I can do it. But after, yeah, we drop off Daphne, I get Gibson back in the car, we go back home, and then we get ready to take Gibson to his Playwise class at the Children's Museum today. I don't always have an activity every day, but most mornings I do. Like there's the book babies at the library on Tuesday. There's a thing called Coffee in the Park that we go to on Mondays, where it's like a weekly play date with friends. So a lot of the mornings we have stuff to do. Sometimes we just skip it. But I think it's good to get out and see other moms for my sanity's sake and for their sanity's sake. We like to support each other, and oh, it's good for Gibson to learn how to behave at the library and learn how to behave at the little Playwise class that we went to today. So we get ready to go to that. I usually still had him in pajamas this morning, and that's often the case. I still have him in pajamas when I drop off Daphne. So I take him home, I get him all cleaned up and dressed up, get like, the right shoes and socks on him because he had put rain boots on his feet this morning to get out the door, which was really helpful because I was like really afraid we weren't going to make it out the door on time. And then he put on his own rain boots. And then when I was carrying him to the car, he kicked them off. So I had to like scoop them up while I was holding him, but still happy about the rain boots. Oh, so then I took him to the class at the museum. I chased him around the museum for a couple hours. I came back here and I chased him around the yard for a little bit. He played on the swings. He played in the water table. He had a great time playing outside. We went on a walk. He likes to go on this thing where he's going on a bear hunt or a lion hunt or a yeti hunt. And he pretends like he's looking for these wild animals, and he sings the song, Going on a Yeti Hunt. So we went on a yeti hunt around the neighborhood and ran and played outside for a little bit. And around 11 something, I finally got him inside. And then he's ready for a nap at that point from all that running around at the Children's Museum and in our yard and in the neighborhood. So he nurses for a little bit, and then he just passes out cold. I laid him down in the bed so he can sleep. And now I am recording this YouTube video. Then I'm going to have lunch. Then I'm going to feed Gibson lunch. I usually do like a sandwich and like some fruits or vegetables, or some pizza rolls and some fruits and vegetables. So we'll do something like that for his lunch. And then after that, I'm going to go pick up Daphne from school. And I'm going to go directly from there to a play date with Daphne's best friend. And then we're going to play at a park for a while. From there, we'll go and get ice cream. The kids will have ice cream. From there, it'll be time for me to head home. It'll be about 4:30 at that point. And then I will come back here. I will have a beer because I've much earned that beer after dealing with children from 5 something in the morning onward. Even if I don't get out of bed, I mean, it doesn't mean I'm not still dealing with them. I'm talking to them and stuff at 5 in the morning. And then after that, I will make dinner. Probably going to make pad see ew for dinner. I'm excited about that. A bunch of vegetables, some tofu, some rice noodles, garlic. It's just very savory. And I love it because the kids eat the tofu and the kids eat the vegetables and they don't complain. Because sometimes getting toddlers to eat vegetables can be hard. But my kids both eat this. That's my cat that just knocked over something in the background. And then after that, I might do some laundry. There's a ton of laundry that needs to get done. There's always dishes. And then I usually do the dishes right at like 4 something, right before my husband gets home at 4:30. I usually like just rush and do all the dishes and pick up all the stuff right before my husband gets home. Because like if you try to do anything earlier in the day, it's probably gonna like get messed up and there's gonna be more dishes and stuff. So I just do everything like right at once, right before he gets home. So it looks like the house was clean all day. If you ever try to clean earlier in the day with a toddler, there's no point. It's just going to get destroyed again before. There's the cat, sorry. And then after we, do the dishes, do dinner, do laundry, I will probably throw the kids in the shower, and then it's time to get ready for bed. And then the kids usually go to bed around 7 o'clock, so that's cool. After that, we'll probably switch some laundry. And then from there, I will not do a whole lot. Like, there's always things I should be doing in the evening. I just finished watching Mr. Robot last night, like the end of the season finale. Well, the end of the series finale last night. So I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. I'm not going to watch Mr. Robot because that's over. And I usually go to bed about like 9:30. But yeah, that is the day of, well, that's a day in my life, what I'm doing as a stay-at-home mom. I used to do during nap time, I would do homework, and I don't have to do that now. I could look for jobs, but I'm probably just going to substitute teach in the fall, and I don't have to apply to that really. It's just like I don't have to do a job interview or anything now that I'm a credentialed teacher. I can just go and do that. So I'm not going to worry about anything else right now. Just making a YouTube video in the middle of my day is pretty chill. I used to enjoy making these during Daphne's nap time. It's nice to have a little bit of a creative outlet. It's not really gone anywhere, but it's been fun. Well, I hope you found this video interesting. If you have any questions, feel free to include them in the comment section below and I'll answer them. And if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're looking for ideas of stuff to do, some days we paint, some days we do like baking soda. We'll put it in like a tall, skinny bottle or a tall, skinny cup. You can use old baby bottles for this. Put some baking soda in there and give them some scoopers or some measuring cups and stuff. And put some vinegar in like some Tupperware containers. I like to do two different colors, like green and blue. So when you mix them, it makes turquoise, or like blue and red makes purple, or like red and yellow makes orange. Like two complementary colors that look really cool together. And then let them scoop the vinegar into the middle part. I kind of demonstrate it so they know what they're doing, and then like they'll just play with the vinegar and baking soda for a while. Another thing we do is just play with water and ice cubes. um what else have we been doing? Drawing, painting's like a big thing. They like, oh, kinetic sand and Play-Doh are both really big things. We'll do one at a time. We don't do kinetic sand and Play-Doh. That would be bonkers. But yeah, we'll just set them up with some kinetic sand and some molds that they can put the stuff into. Let them play over a bin with the sand and just kind of experiment with things. Play-Doh and making shapes and like rolling it out and stuff has been a big thing. Yeah, we usually do stuff like that in the afternoon if we're not rushing to a play date. Oftentimes we are going out and doing stuff like going to the park. We do go to the park a lot, and that's really rad. All right, well, feel free to subscribe to my channel if you liked this content. I hope you have a good one.